What's up, guys? Let's do this real fast.
What was happening?
Yo, what's up, my dude?
Not much. Uh, I I assume you know what's going on. You did something today.
I don't know. I posted a bunch of shit last night and went to sleep. What's going on? What am I being blamed for this time?
Pretty much put in Tonka's information out there of him being a wrestler.
I mean, didn't he already say he was a wrestler?
He never said his name though.
Oh, well, why would he have it listed on that IMDb page then? That seems kind of dumb.
He has it connected to Tonka Saw.
I guess. I don't know. Some dude just DM me all the information. He's like, yo, like if you go to the IMDb page, this is all the shit or whatever. And it's like, oh, crazy.
Yeah, people have been putting a lot of things on IMDb. But why did you feel the need to, post it on your Twitter?
Well, I thought it was funny
Like,
as fuck.
we've had plenty of people's names thrown at us. We've had fucking Jeff Holliday's information thrown at us. We've had No BS's information thrown at us. We've never decided to throw anybody's public name out there. Why did you decide?
Honestly, I just thought it was hilarious. That's kind of what my primary driver was there.
Yeah. Oh, Tonka's muted right now. I think he's dealing with some real life stuff because of shit that you put out there.
Some real life stuff. What, like people showing up at his house now? They found his address or something?
Well, what do you think was gonna happen when you know?
I don't know. People have been throwing my docs around for the past like 3 months. This shit's been hardcore the past month or two. Nobody's showed up at my house yet. You telling me that after I post a picture of him wrestling in one day, he's got people showing up at his house? Come on, dude.
I think he's doing some damage control, but it was totally possible. As much as people, go and try to be your little army, that somebody might try to fuck with him in real life.
Are you saying that maybe online people have some level of responsibility for how they conduct themselves in public in terms of how they address other people or the accusations they levy at other people? Do you think that's a fair statement to make? Because my next question is going to be then, how do you justify Tonka repeatedly calling me a fucking pedophile over and over again and then threatening to beat the shit out of me in real life? What kind of repercussions do you think that would have for me personally?
Well, he attaches the pedophile stuff with things that you have stated out there.
Okay, so you're going to give me some bullshit-ass excuses. I'm clearly not a pedophile, dude. Everybody knows I'm not a pedophile. This guy sat here and called me a pedophile for like the past 2 weeks because of some random fucking shit I said 5 years ago. And you're going to talk to me right now about responsibility to online discourse? That's a little bit aggravating for me, right?
Here's the thing. You say some fucking sketchy things like ethical CP, shit like that.
Do you even know the... I don't even want to... Do you even know the context to that?
I know how you try to spin it.
I'm not trying to spin anything. It was a 1-minute blurb in a 2-hour debate I had against a guy that was advocating for pedophilia, where I took the contrary position that age of consent laws existed for a reason. He asked me a question: do you think there's ever a case where child pornography could be good? And the only thing I could come up with is, I guess if you could use it to reduce the number of kids getting raped, maybe you can find a way to use it there because of some research that I'd seen. That's the only time that's ever come up. And people like Tonka try to spin this as though I'm constantly pushing to legalize child porn or some shit, while me and my family has been getting hardcore doxxed for the past 2 weeks. And then you're going to get mad at me because I posted some pictures of him wrestling online that's publicly available via his IMDb? That's not fair, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Real quick. I don't know you. I don't try to be mad at you until you say something that makes me mad or whatever.
Well, I've said I don't want to fucking debate you.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Like I don't. No, I'm just telling you exactly what I've said. I don't want to debate you because I know exactly what you do, what you've already tried to do. Like, you put words I'm not a debater. All right.
Yeah, no,
So
it's
I'm
cool.
not
It's fine.
gonna-
Yeah, I don't care. It's all good. Just a conversation.
Yeah. As far as Tonka, he says that he never called you a pedophile. He said that you post pics of 15-year-old girls. Well, what's the context of that conversation? Because what I've seen is, you know, old chat where you bring up that a 15-year-old sent you pictures.
Sure, a long time ago, I was talking with a bunch of esports guys. I said the jailbait at tournaments is ridiculous. That there are a lot of like 15, 16-year-old chicks that'll message you and shit to try to hook up with you at events. We were talking about that. That was the context of that conversation. Tonka tries to spin it as though we have some kind of like 15-year-old fucking wank group or something. I don't know. I really don't give a fuck. It's a conversation log from literally 5 years ago. I don't see what the relevance is to anything that I've been talking about today. And also, Tonka has constantly tweeted that I've like planned to hook up with 15-year-olds and shit. Something that isn't even justified by the chat log.
I wish he was on here to talk because I'm not the one that's debating.
Sure. I mean, he's just going to say, oh, no, I saw the chat log. I know that you wanted to fuck a 15-year-old, blah, blah, and then scream at me like you did the last time we talked. It's just the thing that frustrates me, like the thing that is very frustrating me, and I don't know if you care or not, again, because I don't know how close you are to Tonka or whatever, is that like people will sit here and levy pretty extreme accusations at me for like weeks and weeks and months and years, and I've got like literally forums full of people that are like trying to dox not only me but my family. When I say my family, I mean like my ex and my child. So like people are going crazy, and then on top of that, while people are doing that, people like Tonka are literally saying that I'm advocating for child porn and that I'm pro pedophilia, and I've got people spam calling the FBI and shit. And then when I find funny pictures of Tonka listed on a public IMDb site, you guys are all going crazy about doxing. Like that leaves a really bad taste in my mouth. That comes off as a little hypocritical, no?
But you do know that right now, shit is happening in his real life because of.
I seriously doubt anything is happening in his real life right now. As somebody that's lived here and dealt with this for the past 7 years, there's no way that anything serious is happening in his real life right now.
But you really think that Tonka's trying to fuck with your real life?
I don't know if he is or isn't. It's possible. It's possible that he's too stupid to realize that what he's saying has real life consequences. That seems to be the case with a lot of these types of people that I talk to online. But I mean, it has real life impact. Yeah, of course.
Good morning, Steve.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I never said that you advocated for child porn. That's not my angle. I don't know if you caught that or not, but you're gonna have.
So if I go through your Twitter, I'm not gonna find you saying that I wanted to hook up with a 15-year-old.
No. Yes, your plan was to hook up with her originally
No,
until
it
you
wasn't.
found out her age. That was your plan.
Wait, my plan was to hook up with her until I found out her age. What's the problem with that? What?
Well, isn't that what I say? That you planned to hook up with a 15-year-old. She was 15, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know she was 15 when we first started
Okay,
talking.
well,
That's the whole point.
independent of what I said. So what I said is factual. Also, I said that
You said
posted
shares around pictures of 15-year-olds he
No,
planned to hook up with.
You just said that what I said is fact. That's a 15-year-old, and you did plan to hook up with her.
When I knew she was 15. So like these are the word games that I'm talking about, dude.
No,
I don't really care how you try to justify it.
The IMDb page that was adjusted in the past 2 days. You want to pretend that it was always saying the things it said and always had the pictures it did.
Listen to you, dude. I don't care about you that much to start
Obviously,
modifying websites.
Dude, you changed your profile picture to me. Don't say you don't care.
Yeah, because it's funny as fuck, but somebody else did the groundwork on that, dude.
So fucking bad that you have changed your profile picture to me. You've been tweeting about me for weeks. You had me blocked.
Tweeting about you for weeks? I started tweeting about you last night, dog.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
it's
shit.
easy. It's
You're
easy.
so
It's
mad.
demonstrable.
I'm so mad.
I'm so mad. Dude.
How do you do the chat room thing in here?
Look at you.
Ah, here it is. When you put out a tweet like this and you honestly pretend like it doesn't sound like you're saying I'm trying to hook up with minors, like I can't imagine how fucking retarded you are.
It is factual. You fucking
okay. Well, hey, then all your information is publicly found on the IMDb. That's factual as well. That's factual as well, my dude.
It was also edited.
12 months.
I don't know who edited it. I don't keep track of your IMDb.
Second, if you care.
I think you do.
Whoa. Where's your factual support of that? Where's your factual support of that?
I'm going to a big claim here, and the claim is that you did post pictures of a 15-year-old girl. You did so admittedly.
Okay. Where's this claim?
Did you do that? Yes or no?
Yeah, but we weren't nude or anything.
But I'm
not planning on hooking up with a 15-year-old. This happened 5 years ago. Why are you so obsessed with this, Tonka-san? Sounds like, are you trying to get the pictures from me? Like, what do you want, dude?
Why does it bother you so much?
It's not bothering me. It's just irritating that I have to talk about it all the time.
It's ruined. No, you say it's ruined. It's implications in real life. Then why'd you do it? You did it.
Did what? talked about how there's jailbait at tournaments 5 years ago?
You shared a picture of a 15-year-old girl in your chat. That's what I said you did. That's
It wasn't in my chat. It was with a group chat with other people in esports.
That's a chat, you idiot. You just said group chat.
You
That's
said
a
your
chat.
chat. Try to use less pronouns, buddy. You're getting a little heated. Calm down there.
I'm getting a little heated.
Yeah.
You're the one who spurred out on your fucking Twitter. Has been posting.
I'm not spurred, dude. It's some funny shit. I mean, the jokes write themselves, man. You gotta admit, you're small as fuck, dude. And you're talking about how you're gonna beat the shit out of me.
I was fucking 22. Yes, I was really small. Yeah, I was small.
Are you bigger now? Where are the new pictures now,
Way
dude?
bigger now. The one that I posted that is a comparison of mine and your body.
Wait, the anime one?
No, you idiot. The one where we can see the ripples of where you sit scrooched over.
Yeah.
The
but the difference is I'm not out here making fun of how I'm gonna beat the shit out of people, dude. I'm not making fun of how I'm gonna beat people up.
I didn't say I'm gonna beat.
You didn't say you were gonna. You wanted to face fuck me with your fist.
If you would consent to a fight, I absolutely would fuck your face with my fist.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
It was only if you'd consent to a fight, Destiny. You're such a dishonest little piece of shit.
That's
dude.
not dishonest. What's dishonest is what you're doing.
Oh man, I guess when you spend half your life as a fucking circus performer, I guess you just learn to lie all the time. Is that like what happens?
Did I ever? Did I do the thing you said I did, or am I posting factual things? Like you posted a picture of a 15-year-old.
You were screaming at me for 2 hours about how you wanted to wring my neck. About how you wanted to wring my neck, dude. And now you're gonna pretend. And now you're gonna pretend.
Around pictures of a 15-year-old.
And now you're gonna sit here and pretend. Now you're gonna sit here and pretend.
I said it would be nice.
Oh, that's funny.
No, I'm not pretending anything.
Got anything else for everybody?
I've got plenty for you, and it's coming.
All right, what do you got?
No, not talk.
Oh shit. Not talk. Oh shit. Was that another threat? Are you threatening me again?
Is that a threat? No, not talk. I'm not gonna track you down. I'm not gonna beat you up.
That's good. Well, you don't have to because your little goon squad's already done it, so it's all good.
My goon squad tracked you down and kicked your ass already? Really?
No, not tracked. My shit's all out there though, dude. It's been out there for a long time.
Well, that's what happens when you're a little shithead like you are.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what happens when you pull the shit you pull.
Every year, the carnival comes to town. I'm looking out for you, Tonka.
I don't think you get it, kid.
What don't I
think you get it.
What don't I get?
You post 1 million pictures of me when I'm younger. You don't get what I look. You don't get what you be dealing with.
I don't know what you look like now because all your shit is fucking cartoon pictures. So it's hard for me to say, man.
That's really unfortunate for you. There's a picture of my grandmother that's been posted, Steve.
Okay, I don't know anything about your grandmother.
I don't care if you know. I don't care if you know.
That's cool that I get all the responsibility from what everybody else does, but you have like no responsibility at all for everything you say. I think that's pretty funny.
No, I'll take responsibility for what I said. You posted pictures of 15-year-old girls.
Cool. You called me a pedophile. You said that I.
Where did I call you? Where I said
you said I want to hook up. You just have pedo tendency. Ah, there's that good old Tonka. That good old. You did gymnastics in the ring and in your head. That's insane, dude. You're so talented. Holy shit. That's amazing.
You'll never forget me, Destiny.
You should do like a game show.
Never forget
you should
me,
do like
Destiny.
a game show and like an in the ring thing at the same time, dude. You'd be the #1 contender.
You look like a fucking idiot. You'll never forget it.
Wait, hold on, because I'm actually curious.
Look like a fucking moron.
I'm curious. Do your fans actually think that the wrestling is real? Wait, do you think the wrestling is real?
The wrestler that made you feel like a fucking idiot. You'll never forget it.
Tonka, there's a lot of things you make me feel. Stupid will never be one of them. Stupid will never be one of them.
You'll never forget.
You don't even know what state you live in.
You'll never forget me, Steve. Well, no, you don't know how to understand that
South Carolina and North Carolina.
They both have the same states, but I'll talk to you about both of them while I'm getting information over.
What'd you
in my
say?
Inbox.
They're both the same state?
No, that's not what I said. Are you deaf as well as dumb?
No, I can't hear you. You sound like you were wiling out a little. You okay, buddy?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Are you gonna hear me?
Okay, I hear you. What's up?
You're gonna get the message.
How you guys doing today? What are we talking about today on the Daily Kumite? Is that what this is called? Or is it Kumite? Or Kuma?
Oh wow. Dyslexic too?
Kumite.
Wait, Kumite. What does dyslexia mean? I'm curious if you know. Yikes. Okay, never mind. So what's the topic for today?
Steve, have you ever beat your wife?
Tweet?
I beat the shit out of my wife all the time, actually. She's got scars. We actually had 2 miscarriages before. The recent child barely made it out alive. Why, how about you?
Actually interested. So I'm looking at the tweet that you posted, Destiny. It says hilarious coming from a hobbit who hatches murder plots against kids and their parents. Because I saw the video that Tonka's mentioned him.
Right,
Do
you
you
did
have any
that.
context for that one?
Oh no, that's a different video. He did. He will admit to you that he did hatch a murder plot against some fucking kid because he didn't like what he was doing on the internet. And it's like, well, what if somebody slashed your tires? You don't get to murder him, you fucking manlet.
You okay, Tonka? You sound a little mad there. Watch out, champ.
No, but I'm serious, Destiny. Do you have any context?
I mean, the context is all there. I mean, like, if I've explained it like a million times. I don't know what the point is. If you're friends with Tonka, you're gonna take his fucked up version.
I don't follow you. Like, honestly, the Kumite might talk about you. I'm not looking up information after the Kumite. I'm watching Star Trek fucking reruns.
Sure. So a long, long time ago, way before there was any DDoS protection or way before anybody knew anything about how to handle anything on the internet, some kid had gotten my IP address and was basically DDoSing me for like a month. And then after like a month, he reached out to me on Skype to taunt me for it. I don't know how familiar you are with internet stuff. So if somebody DDoSes your internet, it's essentially unusable. It's completely unusable. You can't do anything. And at the time, I'd been streaming for I think 2 years or maybe a year or two, and it was my income. It's how I provided for my family. It's how I paid my mortgage. It's how I paid for my kid. It's literally my job. And this kid, for fun, was just shutting down my streams like every day, every other day. Like I was losing tens of thousands of dollars in income to this. Originally, I called the FBI. I had 3 different interviews with them, 2 via phone, or no, it was 1 via phone and then 2 in person. And all 3 times they said they really couldn't do much, or I don't know, it seemed like they didn't really give a fuck, probably because I play video games, so they just wrote it off. And then finally, because no law enforcement would do anything, I was able to get his name and everything from some friends. I tried to contact local law enforcement in North Carolina, which is where he lived. They wouldn't do anything. They said that they couldn't really do anything. It was outside of like what they normally did. They didn't say it exactly that way, but they said like, oh, well, we'll open an investigation. And after like a month or 2, nothing ever came of it. So finally, I decided to call the kid's dad. And I contacted the kids. First, I contacted, I think, his brother to try to get the information from the dad. Then I contacted his dad and told him, like, hey, like, your son is involved in some fucked up shit. I need him to stop. And after we traded a few phone calls, basically the dad got mad at me and told me to fuck off. And his kid continued to DDoS me, which was making it so I literally couldn't work. Yeah, so, I mean, I was very fucking pissed off. I said that I was going to find the kid and murder him or some shit. I'm sure I said a lot. I probably said even worse than that. I don't think I would have actually killed somebody, just because it's probably a bad idea. I say a lot of hyperbolic shit on my stream, but, like, yeah, I was really, really, really fucking irritated. And then the analogy I give is somebody would basically show up to your house every single morning and slash your tires so you couldn't go to work, except nobody cares and nobody helps you or nobody does anything about it. So
murder's okay.
But that was a real hot ethical take there, Tonka. Nice.
No, you were planning to kill him because of that. That's what
I mean, if
said.
it came to physical intimidation, yeah, of course, yeah, I would have to do something. Well, what are the alternatives, Tonka? Let's go down this rabbit hole.
Get a job.
Why would I quit my 6-figure career because some bored 15-year-old decides to like DDoS my internet? Do you think that's reasonable?
Why are you that weak?
I'm not that weak.
Why don't you fix it?
I did. I not only did I fix it, I discovered the premier guide to DDoS protection on the.
I've seen the one before.
Tonka, there wasn't one before. Tonka, you're talking to the guy that wrote the book on how to protect your Skype from. I'm not even joking. Like if you Google it, I'm the first thing that comes up. I'm referenced by Valve and Riot's guide. I made inroads to every single professional League of Legends team and multiple CS:GO teams as a result of the guide that I literally created from scratch. There was nobody to help you out with anything when I was on the internet back then. I had to figure all of this shit out. I don't want to say completely on my own because I had a lot of fans that helped me put together shit too, but no, there was no guide on how to deal with this shit before I discovered it. But like the level of dishonesty there, like I know you wouldn't do it. If some kid was finding a way to prevent you from working in your career in a 6-figure job, you would just say fuck it and abandon it completely and go do something else? No fucking way would you do that, dude. That's so dishonest.
I'm not broke.
Why are you not broke? Because you work? I'm sorry, at 24 years old, am I supposed to have saved up all the money I'll need for the rest of my life? Do you have no bills?
What do you think makes you so hateable? Like, I really don't follow you as much as all the other people, but you seem to have a lot of hate. Is it just that you push people's buttons back?
I'm cancerous as fuck on Twitter. I'm probably naturally pretty fucking egotistical too. I'm very narcissistic, so I'd come off as being incredibly condescending to a lot of people, which is fair. And then I also, my politics are quite left leaning, which in the YouTube and gaming community is very much not accepted at the moment. So all of these kind of come together to make the perfect shitstorm of me being completely hateable.
Mm. Yeah, I'm trying not to hate you. I'm
No, it's fine. I used to be liked a lot more when I was younger. I used to be like, oh sure. When I was younger, I used to be very right leaning politically. So like, are you familiar with like shit Reddit says, that subreddit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I've had them and then other SJW-esque groups that try to like witch hunt the fuck out of me, or did like 5 or 6 years ago in my early career, because I used to be a lot more right leaning, and back then gamer bros loved the fuck out of me because I was very edgy. I made a lot of edgy jokes and shit. I had like one of the highest posts of all time, like on Kotaku in Action, complaining about discrepancies between how women and men are treated online and shit. But then when my politics started to switch to become more left-leaning, I started to pick up a lot more hate from these types of online communities. I noticed that people will very much like cater their values, like what is right or what is wrong, based on whether or not they like or dislike the person. So like, for a really good example of that, if I would have done the shit that JF admits to doing, people would be harassing me nonstop for it. But because they agree with JF politically, nobody really says anything about it.
Aren't you getting sued by JF? Why are you still like antagonizing him?
Because he has no case. I'll say it, that JF coerced and maybe abducted and raped a 19-year-old mentally retarded girl. I'll say it all I want. It's sourced by court documents. He says he's suing me, but he keeps upping the lawsuit, supposedly. I really don't give a fuck. He doesn't understand how defamation works. I don't think he knows how any of the legal stuff works. I think he read a definition in a book. He thinks that like defamation is saying mean things about you, so he's going to sue me for it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with any of the JF shit on how all that went down?
I've looked at it a little bit.
Sure.
I've seen what people have shown me. A lot of the accusations are coming from the other lawyer side. That doesn't prove anything as far as like the lawyer going to a doctor to have the doctor say whatever. And I have no proof that that person was even a doctor or anything. I just see that person, that lawyer on their side is saying that this person didn't have the mental ability to have a relationship with JF, even though they drove across the country to go be with that person. Like,
sure. So I'm just curious, if you think that all of it was baseless, why did the judge grant a permanent guardianship of the young girl?
I'm not that well informed with that case, but let's just say there's times where the courts fuck up. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but I wouldn't use that argument here. I mean, like, it's possible that courts fuck up, but she's got her own attorney. She didn't contest the guardianship. Multiple independent psychiatrists evaluated her. I don't know. That just seems like a really extreme claim to take. But I mean, I guess
from what I heard, and I can't confirm it because I don't have that information, but they say like the father of the daughter of the girl is connected in that town, knows people, so there could have been a bias as far as the judges.
Yeah, that's entirely possible, but like, this is what I'm saying when it comes down to, and again, I don't know like your personal affiliation or anything. This is what I say when it comes down to being like, people are biased towards people they like, and I'm not saying you are towards JF, but maybe the people you talk to. If I were to try to play this, if somebody were to say that like I tried to have sex with a 19-year-old mentally retarded girl, and then her parents got full guardianship of her to prevent me from having a relationship with her, that I was trying to put a baby inside of her the second we met, right? If I were to claim, well, listen, no, the judge is corrupt, both of the independent, the psychiatrist and the therapist that talked to her, both of them are corrupt. Her own personal attorney ad litem that was assigned to her from the court, that attorney that was representing her and not the parents, he was corrupt. And then every single part of the court system failed here and was all corrupt. If I were to make those claims, people would laugh at me. They would go, how can you weave such a crazy conspiracy, Steve, that all of these different independent parties came together and were all corrupted by a single father? How could you say that, Steve? How could you be so stupid? Like, that's what people would be saying to me. But because it's JF, people will gladly embrace the conspiracy theory that every single person involved in this was corrupt, and that even the girl herself didn't contest anything. Not to mention that JF
The
himself
way
has
that
admitted that 7 other women have accused him of sexual misconduct.
it is the way that you go about it that makes people not want to be on your side. Listen to how you phrase it. She's retarded.
That's
Wouldn't-
what they said.
Isn't she autistic?
Yeah, and she also is developmentally delayed. If people try to spin this as like she just was a high functioning autistic person, like somebody with an old diagnosis would have been like Asperger's, but that's not true. If you read the psychiatric evaluation, that's not true. They said that she wouldn't be capable of, for instance, if she was driving and something came up, if something unexpected came up, she would have to get out of the car and call her parents. She wouldn't be able to figure out anything on her own. That she probably
Didn't she drive across the country?
Yeah, sure. And it's good that she didn't wind up in any problems. But according to the psychiatric evaluation, if she had, when they asked her specific questions like, does JF make any money? How is your guys' financial future going to be? She had no answer to any of this. For instance, when she asked her, what would you do if you guys had a child? And I think she asked if JF left, what would you do? The girl had no answer. And then a few minutes later was like, I have 3 cats and I really love them. Like, this isn't just, as somebody that has worked with people that have, and again, it used to be called Asperger's, but that's not a DSM-5 diagnosis anymore. As somebody that's worked with people that are high-functioning autistic people, she was not just a normal girl that did everything fine but was a little bit quirky. Like, this was somebody with severe developmental disability. Or at least according to the courts.
She's graduated from college. Am I wrong?
No, she graduated high school, which is possible. There's special education classes. I mean, yeah, anybody.
So she didn't go to college?
She apparently attended college for a couple years, but I mean that could mean anything. Anybody can attend college for a couple years. I'm not saying that she is like literal Down syndrome or low functioning autism that like leaves her like, writhing and screaming in a room all day or something, like wrestling with people. But I mean, from all of the evals, based on the people that I've talked to that do lawyer related stuff in the United States, everything that I've been told is that getting guardianship over somebody is a very, very, very serious thing. Like, you have to pass a really high bar to actually acquire guardianship of someone, because you're essentially removing all of their autonomy. You're assigning it to somebody else. So the fact that they were seeking a temporary guardianship and got a permanent one, I don't know. I think it kind of speaks to the severity of the case. But on the alternative,
people in the chat are saying she finished college.
If she did, I'd love to see the picture of that, because in the psych eval it just said she had just had a couple of years done of college. I've never seen anything of her finishing college. I'd love for somebody in chat to link that.
Monthly installment to the Mohammed Soros Bazaar of Ideas ANELE clap. Soon, brother.
Because I don't have all the information as far as this case goes. I honestly, like I said, once I'm done with streams, I'm off binge watching either Archer or Star Trek or some shit.
Yeah, sure. It's probably better for your sanity than digging into this shit all day.
I don't know. Let me see what people want to get Jim on. I'm sure you don't want to talk to Jim. He just came on. He had to talk to Tonka. I don't even know why you're talking to me, but
I have to leave in like
Tonka's
10 minutes. But
busy.
if he wants to, yeah, I don't care. Sure.
Well, I'm sure he's busy dealing with shit. Like you can't play that much dumb. I'm sure you knew that somebody.
No, I'm not playing dumb. I fully 100% acknowledge and accept the responsibility of shit that goes online. I seriously doubt that people are going to hunt him down in real life or cause any real life shit because of stuff that was listed on the IMDb page. I doubt that'll happen. But yeah, I'm sure some people will harass him and whatnot. Sure. But I mean, if a guy is going to sit here and scream at me that I have pedophilic tendencies and that I'm trying to hook up with 15-year-olds, I really don't care much about like what happens. I don't like have like a lot of consideration for the guy, you know?
Let's say you don't care about him. What about his family?
I mean, that's all under his responsibility. What about my family? He doesn't seem to have any consideration whatsoever. I don't think it's going to get to the point where people are like trying to hurt his family. My fan base typically doesn't act that way.
I don't want anybody to dox you. I don't think Tom wants anybody to dox you.
Well, you say that, but when he talks about how he wants to wring my neck and he wants to face fuck me with his fist, and then he calls me a pedophile multiple times, and there are people that are always trying to dox me. I mean, how can you say that I need to accept responsibility while he levies these accusations at me like it's nothing?
Yeah. He told the guy that he was gonna wrap his dick around his throat and start him like a lawnmower. It's just shit talking. It's shit talking.
I mean, he didn't sound like he was shit talking me when we were in our call. He seemed pretty fucking mad.
Oh wait, people are saying I'm going soft on you. I don't. Am I supposed to scream at him? I think you're shitty for what you did.
Yeah, I can understand it. I can respect that, but
yeah. Got plenty of fuck destinies in the chat. I'm sure you've heard that a million times.
yeah.
I don't think we should meet.
Okay.
I don't think we should ever see each other.
People want me to call you a bitch. Destiny, you're a bitch.
I think he's aware he's a bitch. I don't think he needs any help with it. I think he's 100% aware.
If someone can get a PhD and somehow still be stupid enough to
So he has to go
represent
10 minutes.
themselves in
What else do you want
court,
to say
then
to
I
that?
think retards can
kill
learn to
yourself.
drive.
You already did.
No, kill yourself. Kill yourself. Don't bump into anybody real.
Wait, are you telling me to kill myself?
Don't bump into anybody real, Steve.
Okay, dude.
Stay in your little computer chair.
If I see any clown cars
don't
pull
bump
up to me on the side of the street, I'll make sure to run away real quick, okay?
You see a Mercedes come up, you probably better start taking off in the other direction.
All right, dude.
Hey, but I had a question. So somebody sent me a link. So
Yeah.
Destiny.
Oh, hey, wait,
there-
real quick. I have to leave literally in like 10 minutes. So if we're like in the middle of some shit, I'm not trying to duck out. I have to go in 10 minutes. I'm at a hard
Nobody
stop.
cares, Steve. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So from what I hear, and I don't know the entire validity of this, but what people are saying is that this premise that JF's old lover was functionally retarded was evidence that was presented by the prosecuting attorneys that was turned down by the judge. What do you make of that?
That's total bullshit. Whoever said it just didn't follow anything. It doesn't know what they're talking about.
Can you expand on that at all?
Yeah, sure. So JF oftentimes makes the claim, I didn't get to contest any of the evals. All of that was bullshit. It was thrown out by the judge. I didn't get to argue against it. That's the way that JF spins it. But if you read the court documents, what happened was the family was trying to obtain a temporary guardianship of the girl, and JF showed up at court to contest that guardianship. However, JF was not able to make a case to the judge that he even had standing to contest the guardianship. JF tried to claim that they were engaged, and when the judge asked for evidence of that, because JF was still married to another woman that he didn't have divorce proceedings on filings with, when JF tried to make the case that they were engaged, all he could say is, we have a phone bill and a health insurance bill together. The judge said, you have no standing to be here. You have no right to try to interrupt these proceedings. You need to leave. And then JF left. That's it. Nothing was thrown out of court on behalf of JF. The reason why JF didn't get to challenge anything relating to the guardianship is because JF could never prove that he had standing to actually be there to contest it. As far as anything getting thrown out in regards to the custody case, I mean, if it got thrown out, then how did they get guardianship of the girl? It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, my assumption was that they aired on the side of the family, but
no.
Thanks for expanding on that.
Sure.
Because
well, real quick,
I haven't heard your side of things,
sure.
and I won't.
Courts
I won't
will,
lie.
courts
I tend not to like you very much, but
Yeah,
I'm taking what you're saying at face value.
Sure. Just to be clear on this, courts will side with the family when it comes to keeping families together. So, for instance, if you have a husband that's a huge piece of shit and a wife, if they're trying to do some sort of shared custody arrangement, generally the court will side with any type of arrangement that keeps the family together, even if somebody is being a piece of shit, because courts like to see families kept together. However, when you're talking about a guardianship, this is not keeping a family together. The girl is 19 years old. She's a legal adult. The threshold for obtaining guardianship is quite high. It's not about keeping a family together. It's about removing the autonomy of another adult and assigning it to somebody else. That standard is very difficult to pass.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, that, like I said, it's first I've heard of all of that, so I can't say yay or nay on that. But thank you for expanding.
Sure. I mean, the court docs are all public, so you can always go through and read. I don't mean that kind of saying about
There's
if you
so
want to
much
read them.
shit to go through, man.
Yeah, well, there's like the one case where JF shows up.
That's what Steve counts on. That's why he was blown the fuck out by Naked Ape on that study he tried to present with the Cubans. That's why he looked like such a fucking idiot, is because he hopes that you haven't read it.
I mean,
go read it. Well,
I did read it.
I will.
You're talking about the Never mind. I don't even want to get into this.
Yeah, if Naked Ape, he's smarter than I am. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out there.
Smarter than Steve is too.
Sure. Yeah. So the problem I had with Naked Ape was that when I'm talking about like really complicated topics, I don't have
The problem with him was that
I
he
don't
was
have an
right.
academic background in the area. So typically what I do is I'll just cite like, what do leading experts in this field think? So if I'm citing, I was citing a David
Yeah,
Card
you said
study.
that he
If
was
I'm
not
citing
equipped for the conversation, that you were not equipped for because you had only read the beginning of the whole thing and you didn't
let me
actually
know when you're
what
done.
it said.
Let me know when you're done. All right.
I won't let you
So-
know shit. You little
Okay.
fucker.
So when
I'm
I
not letting
cite
you-
a study by Card saying that native wages aren't really impacted that much by immigrants, and he disagrees with the conclusion of the researcher, I have to ask, what are your
Who was correct about the outcome of the study? You or him?
Card was, and I agree with Card.
No, who was correct?
I
About
was
the
correct.
study?
There's a very, very, very low impact.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I am. There's a very, very low impact of immigrants on native wages. It's very,
Feel
very
free
low.
to go check that out. It's publicly.
Sure. You go
easily
if you want. You
publicly
can go to the
available. Go check that
economics
out.
subreddit. You can go to the sidebar, and I think they've even got a thing on how does immigration impact native wages. There's a whole page on it. It's not really that contested.
That's not the study that you were talking about.
No, but it's related
again,
to the
you
study
finish.
because Card
no,
is like a
doesn't matter. You were
landmark
lying about the
researcher.
study
I wasn't
you were reading
lying
and pretending
about
it said something it didn't fucking say because that's the game.
This is
you
why I
play.
don't like to talk to Tonka Turks.
I don't care what
I
you
know,
like
dude.
to talk.
Because you
don't
you're not
care.
even following the conversation. I don't even think you know what you're talking about.
lie
You don't even know what
about
the
the
study. What is the
conversations. That's
study
why
about?
nobody likes
Tonka,
you.
what was the
You
study
lie.
about?
That's
Tonka,
why
what was the study?
nobody likes you.
Okay, so the problem I had with
Okay,
the Naked
do we
Ape.
have permission to play it without you reeing and losing your
I'm not
fucking
gonna. You can play it when I leave. Play all the screaming match
I
between me
loved
and yeah, Naked Ape you want.
It wasn't a screaming Max. He pulled you.
Well, he didn't. He
absolutely
disagreed.
pulled you.
He disagreed.
Just like Martin Shkreli
He
fucking
disagreed.
pulled you.
Me and Martin
Because
Shkreli
you
shot
are
this
very
shit for
emotional
2
about
hours.
things you don't know anything
Wait,
about.
what?
You're a
Me and
fucking-
Shkreli didn't even have a debate. We just literally chatted with 2 hours.
You tried to debate for like 2 minutes until you realized you were way out of your fucking depth, you little fuck.
We talked about autism for like 2 minutes, and then we just talked about politics for like an hour and a half. We didn't really disagree on
Again,
anything.
publicly available.
Yeah,
So
it
please,
is. Go on my
check
chat
out-
and watch the
check out
2-hour
the Martin-
conversation.
check out the
We're at
Martin
the end of the
Shkreli video.
conversation. Shkreli's like, "Hey, dude, you're really
Direct
cool. We
quote,
should chat again
direct
sometime."
quote. Yeah, because you backed down in the first few minutes. Direct quote from Shkreli. You seem to be very
Oh,
emotional
man.
about things you don't know anything
Yeah.
about. You can fake laugh to yourself all you
I don't
want,
have to
little
fake
fucker.
laugh. You can go watch the whole interview. It's
You
on my
are fake
YouTube channel.
laughing.
You
That's
can
what
go
you-
watch.
are you
You can
really
go watch the
laughing at what
whole
you say to
thing.
yourself?
You
Do
can go
you
watch the
think you are
whole
that
fucking thing.
You don't need the whole fucking thing.
So
In
the
first
problem with
5
the
minutes,
problem with
it
the
tells you that
card
you're
the
very
problem with the
emotional
card
about
thing
things
the
you don't
problem
know.
the problem with the Naked Ape
You
shit
are very
the problem
emotional
with the Naked
about
Ape
things
shit
you
the
do
problem
not
with the
know,
Naked Ape
Jesse.
shit is that he was trying to
Why are you
contradict
so
what the
emotional
researcher said
about
in the
things you
study.
do not know?
So without Naked Ape having like a massive background in that area, it felt really weird to have that debate.
Oh, because you have a massive background in that area. You just don't like getting
No,
drowned.
I didn't have a massive background. That's why I'm citing expert opinion and not my own research, Tonka.
Why don't-
You're
why
not
don't you
following the
cite
conversation
why don't
at all. Can you
cite the
slow down a
entire
little
study?
bit?
Why don't you cite the entire study?
I did
What
cite the study.
conclusion was?
Do you want
No,
to go over it
didn't.
right now?
The
Go to Google and
conclusion
type in
disagreed with
cards,
you. No, we're
Mariello
not
boat
playing
lift.
this
We can go
game,
over it.
Steve.
We can go over
We're not
the
playing
whole
this game,
study
Steve.
right now.
Would you like to talk to Naked Ape right now?
No, I don't need to talk to Naked. Didn't he quit the internet?
Oh no, son. No,
We can
he's
go.
here.
You can Google David Card, Mariel boat lift, and you can go read the abstract. You can read the conclusion, and you can go through the entire study yourself if you want. It doesn't disagree with the assertion that
It
immigration.
disagrees with you.
Okay, sure thing, buddy. I got a
You're
couple more
wrong.
minutes. Anything else?
Fuck it. Plenty.
Well,
Not much.
you were saying that that I don't know exactly the study that you guys are talking about. I'm pretty out of the loop.
Sure.
But so I don't think you need an academic background in something to question the validity of a study because a lot of studies are very pointed.
So the problem with that, I don't have enough time to go
It's an
into.
appeal to authority. Are you familiar with the fallacy?
I'm familiar with a fallacious appeal to authority, but appeal to authority in and of itself isn't a fallacy.
Okay.
So, for instance, if somebody cites like, so there's multiple ways to do a fallacious appeal to authority. So for instance, JF does this to some extent when people cite his background in biology as like an appeal to why he can talk about race realism when a neuroscientist doesn't really
Check
have.
out the Borehouse study.
Wait. I gotta ask real quick. You're talking about the Marelitos?
Yeah.
Boat lift?
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm Cuban. What are you saying about that?
Oh shit, I'm Cuban too, buddy, or half Cuban, believe it or not. Basically, it was a big study on the impact of wages because when the boat lift happened, a whole bunch of immigrants were immediately placed into an area, and they were able to study the impacts of wages in that area as a result of that immigration. It was like a good testing ground for a supply shock of labor.
Okay.
And his conclusion was that this
Miami-
was a good thing.
Is
No,
that more
Card-
immigration a
No,
boon
no.
to working.
Well,
Okay.
that's accepted, but that wasn't what the study was studying. The research was trying to find out, does this have a massive negative impact on native wages? Because econ theory tells us that it should, that when you increase the supply of labor,
And
the
it
demand
did long term.
It does not really. It has a very
It does not really.
Tonka,
seems
you
to
don't. You're
have an
too fucking
impact
stupid
on
for nuance. Just go read on your own
Oh my
time, dude.
God,
I'm not
no,
getting
you're
paid
a
here to
fucking
educate
moron,
you.
Steve.
So the
It
study,
doesn't
what the
really-
what the
it
study
doesn't
basically
really-
said was that over like a
You know how
10-year
fucking sad
period,
it is that a pro wrestler
over a
knows a study
10-year
better than
period,
you do, you
over a
fucking idiot.
10-year period, you didn't even know what it was about until the other guy brought it up.
It's the Poorhouse study. Shut up.
It's not a Borja study. He's a totally different researcher.
I'm actually interested.
Oh.
So this is just focused on the Miami area, because the thing
Yeah.
with the Miami area is that wages, people were making money because of cocaine. Cocaine was all over the fucking place. Miami was built on cocaine. So wages aren't really going to be impacted when you have a city where there's fucking money going all over the place. There was people that didn't deal cocaine that were making money off the cocaine.
Well, but this is just tracking wages in like normal work and like normal W-2 work, like not like how much money people are making off of drugs.
Yeah, because there's no way to
Well,
track that, really.
I really want to see this study. So if you could send me like
If you just go on Google and this is like the landmark immigration impact on wages, on native wages study. If you Google David Card boat lift, Card CARD, you see a ton of people talking about it. Him and a couple other researchers, and then Borjas and a couple other researchers go back and forth sometimes on interpretation. But most people generally agree that immigration, the only sector of the U.S. economy that immigration impacts is a very narrow section of people that don't have a high school diploma, and that their wages might be adversely affected by like 1 to 2% is usually what's agreed upon. That's why when Tonka said, "Oh, it is," that's why I said, "Not really." There's not like this massive, horrible impact on native
Did I
wages.
say it
That's
was
not
massive
Well, I
or
think it's
horrible?
kind of
I said it was an
complex.
impact.
If you think about, if you have twice as many workers, then surely the cost of those workers, the value of those workers, goes down by about half.
Well,
At
so
least-
that doesn't happen. That's why it's such a weird study, because what you just said is what econ theory would tell us. If you increase the supply of labor, the demand and the cost for it will go down. But what actually happened when the study took place, and when hypotheticals were being designed, models were being designed, like, well, why don't we see this horrible impact in wages? What actually happens is you see a lot of new businesses will move into the area to take advantage of the increase of labor. You see new places opening up that cause an opening in complementary positions, such as for management and whatnot, for native workers to fill into, that boosts their wages. And then you see a greater overall demand for product and whatnot in those areas as well, that also boosts the local economy. So like there's like this amalgamation of variables that play into how the economy works and everything. It's not as simple as like more labor comes in, cost of labor decreases. It seems like there's a much more complicated interaction of things there.
Well, there's a lot of interesting points, but at some point you reach diminishing returns, and I think with the millions of illegal immigrants that we have here, I would think that we've reached a point where the pros are outweighed by the cons.
I mean, you mean where the cons are outweighed by the pros?
Yeah, did I get that backwards?
Yeah,
I
no, it's
fucked
okay.
shit up like that.
I mean, like, that's possible. It depends on what you value. Economically, that's just not supported by the data. I mean, again, like, this is like one of the most hotly studied things of all time, and all the data tells us is that immigration is generally good. Generally, anytime you increase a resource to an economy, it's going to have a massively positive impact across the entire economy. Economically, there's no debate on whether or not immigration helps us. Fiscally, so in terms of state budgets, there is some contention. It might be a wash, it might be slightly negative, but in terms of being an overall massive economic boon to the economy, it seems like all of the data supports that it is.
This is the
I'll check it
longest
out.
anyone's ever
Honestly,
taken to say that I'm right, ever.
Okay, I'll let you guys do the
Honestly,
last word. I
I'll-
have to
I'll
leave
check
right now.
it.
but-
May I say one thing? What happened?
Oh, no, you can't. Andy.
Destiny, did you actually fucking dox Tonka?
Not really. I just posted some shit on his IMDb page. How are your new Nazi
Did you
friends,
make
dude?
the IMDb
No, I
page?
didn't
That's
make
what a lot
anything.
of people are
Why?
speculating.
No, why would I make an
How's
IMDb
your being
page?
a little bitch?
It was
How's your being a
adjusted
little
2
bitch
days
about
ago.
free speech and
I don't
all
know anybody is adjusting anything. I don't have time to do this shit. Like, I have work. I don't care about you that much, Tonka. All right,
Obviously,
have fun.
that's
Have
why
fun.
you're
Have fun.
I'm your profile picture, Steve.
I'll hop back in like 30 minutes if you guys want to chat. I'll be back. Whew. All right, I'll be back in a bit, guys.